Hey guys, DJ from PTA. Going over a few for the day, August 4th. Choppy day. I play NVIV. Pretty much everything that most of the discourse and everyone was talking about was this one. A lot of volume, a lot of sideways price action. It was a bit choppy, but the shorts end up winning. So if you held on and kept sizing in, you eventually got that win. For me, I was going long. I had a few couple pops, but then it will pull back and then wash away and get me out. So I didn't do any over trade today. Just had a one and done. I did add to a couple positions. I'm gonna go over those as well, and kind of sort of take it from there. So first, as I always do, is a spot going over what exactly happened in this spot today. We had a red day. Again, guys, I was telling you about this key area, this 412, 412.89 area, 413.01. That area is very critical. So, as you've seen it close above, I would have liked to make it higher highs above the 415.68, but I kind of figure with this big move, it might have got some exhaustion. I'm looking to see if it hit this trend line and maybe bounce and go here, or maybe break below and come back down. I still feel fundamentally we're not there yet. I think this is just kind of a prop game, but with a lot more earnings and different things going down, that showing that there's not a lot of profitable companies out there, might give you a great opportunity to really invest in some things at lower prices. But we shall see. This is just a snapshot of the general market. All right, so to go over my loser, NVIV, just, I don't know, it was just a really weird trade. Had a lot of volume coming in. I mean, we had a couple areas of resistance, like right here was a good area and everything, but I mean, it didn't really respect anything. It just kind of did what it wanted to do. Now it's 920.25. So ultimately, it was just kind of doing some weird stuff today. I just didn't care for the price action, to be honest. So that's why I only played it once, and then I kind of let it go. So breaking it down, my entry was at 1254. Put the green here. And essentially what happened was I was looking at it for this dip. So what happened, I looked at it from ABC from a longer time frame because of all the hawks. I was trying to wait for it to accelerate back up. I just didn't get it. So essentially, I was viewing this as A. I was viewing this as B for the bounce. And when it pulled back, what I was thinking was, we're going to take out them right here. We're going to take out everybody right here, all this line. Everybody below this line will get shaken out. And I was thinking we'll get a move out, get a 1377 break, maybe a retest, and continue on, just the amount of volume it had. And ultimately, it failed. So when I got in, was just where it failed at. Looking at it, I mean, I would have done anything different. Yeah, might not took the trade, but I looked at that as support. So when it cracked here, I figured, hey, it's gonna knock that out, knock this out, and knock that out, and keep moving forward. But ultimately, it didn't. It ended up pulling back. I lost a buck on it, nothing really crazy, but it's one of those trades where, like, it was heavily manipulated. I mean, I think the float on this was less than $1 million. So it was one of those things. Yeah, it was 1.3 million. It was one of those things, like, I mean, you can't really. There's nothing you can really do. It opened up at 753. It fell back down to 798. Nice move up to 13. So if you didn't catch this straight out the gate, around here somewhere, maybe in the 9s or something like that, you pretty much, And the most frustrating thing is when you wait for the A, you wait for the extension, wait for it to do B, comes back, and then doesn't break out. It just makes it a really frustrating trade. But it lost momentum, lost steam. That's just what it is. Have to go back and review the tape on that one just to make sure I was looking at it correctly. Obviously, I didn't, but obviously I got to go back and look at and see exactly what it was doing at that time. That's NVIV. Next one, this was yelled out on the Discord. I didn't play it, which was Yell. Similar pattern as NVIV. This is another one you would have had to play first thing in the morning. But let's look at the breakdown, the key areas. So this was definitely a key area here. We got us an extension out. Come back, respect, pull down. Outside of that, I mean, you probably could have looked at this area as being, because it rejected here and pulled away. And you could have looked at this area here as some support. So those are probably the key areas. Put this at 60. 35 is fine. 715 is fine. Go back to the chart. Again, I didn't play this one. It was yelled out on our Discord. The break would have been over the 660 pull right in the first 5 minutes. So this is another one that you had to been there waiting for it to break out. I mean, you could have got in right here on this little pattern here on a break, but again, 715, it only went to 744 and then it collapsed. So it just really wasn't moving in any kind of way to make it worthwhile. And then this probably got a lot of people tricked out, and then it ripped. So I mean, I saw it on the scanner and everything like that, but the move sort of happened pretty quickly, so I wasn't able to be prepared for it. Wasn't something on my pre-market, so I mean, I wasn't really looking at it. I saw it, but didn't really make me feel that it was something I needed to take a look at that much. And overall, it was a good quick snipe, 40, 50, 70 cent swipe, and then it fell back down. No real follow through on that one. The winner, the one that I have been eyeing, actually came out to be a good trade, was APDN. APDN had a full pullback, was still sitting higher from the day before. I mean, so honestly, this was a key area here. Had a rejection and a pull down at 403. This was a key area because of the bounce, and then the rejection and the pull down. Let's see something here. This could have been a key area. Rejected, pulled down, yanked, pulled down, yanked. So I would call that 510. 465, I'll probably call that 4. That's probably the areas I would have been looking at. Let's take a look at the chart. Overall, not bad. Did a nice red to green. It looks like it built some volume or energy right there around the red to green. Would have looked at this as support. It popped, pulled back down, popped again. This would have created your new A. So let's look at the higher time frame to see it. So basically, pull down, break, still making higher lows on the 30. So eventually it will squeeze. But looking at this to draw it out, probably would say, you know, it dropped, made a B. This was probably A, but it knocked out A there with really no volume. Pulled back and then made another A. Pulled back, made B. Popped up, pulled back, and then still didn't have any form there. So all this right here going over was probably just a wash, to be honest, because I don't see any real form there. But the form came later on, which made that A. Looks like this became B, and then you just had a quick rally. Now, Yeah, that's pretty much it. This was probably the area here. Once it bounced and confirmed, everybody probably dropped in there. So let's look at the 1 minute because you probably see the pattern on there. And there you go. So right there is, you had your trend line break right here, but you remember that this was A, this popped up and became this being B, and this was C, so your entry would have been about right there. So after the trend line break, that would have definitely been your entry there. And then had a nice pull, so good $2 move on Apdn. That was a really good solid move there after waiting for it. Next one I'm gonna go over KNSA. I took a small trade on KNSA. Nothing, pretty much break even. I mean, I probably made a couple $100, but it wasn't anything worth really discussing. But I did want to show you the move that I saw. Same pattern, reaching out. I went down to the 5. I was thinking once it bounced, did this, I'll enter in here, which I did at 1170. It bounced, got up to 1190. I took a little bit off and got some off at 1187, and that was that. It wasn't nothing really move. I thought it would have had some more legs and moved, but the volume never stepped in. Next trade after that, I like the Uber's trade. Uber's been on a go for the last couple of days. I really like how that pattern set up on Uber. So when we look at Uber, you can kind of see the pattern form. First thing in the morning, it was kind of choppy. That sideways, play that out, play A, B. Right here is where it got a little bit tricky. When it bounced down, your entry would have been here. Still the same pattern, but it would have been somewhere about right here. It would have been real tricky to get in there. So let's go down to the 1 minute so you can kind of see that. Remember you had the chopness. Remember that was A, B. And I came up there, pulled back, went up again. You probably could have played that as A, B, and right there for the C. It pulled back, didn't get you out, but continued on. So it was a really tight play, but I still liked it. Still making higher highs and higher lows day after day. Next trade. These are the ones that popped up on the scanner, ATUS. ATUS, similar pattern. Had a bounce move, bounce higher for the day. I always like to put my area like right there just because it's, I'm gonna put that at 1110. Right there because it rejecting in that gap. Rejection here. It rejected here, bounced up, reject, and then it broke down from this area. So I probably would have put it probably closer to here. We'll just call it 11. Now that I'm looking at the chart, right there would have probably been a key area or key area of interest. Right here would have been a key area of interest as well, just because you had to reject, and then the bounce. So 1050, 11 area. Zoom in on the 5. Looking at this overall, you can see that it came back, respected this area, then took off, broke down. So the way I probably would have played it is right here. This would have been A. So let me draw that out. This would have been A. That would have been B off a major line support. Perk and pull right here. Probably would have took this out right here. Right there would have been my entry. So we would have been entering in at 1124 with a risk to maybe 1111, 1110 maybe. And then a nice move back up to 12, still holding shares. So it was definitely a good move. definitely nice little pattern. Had some volume today. Nothing too crazy or anything like that. 11 million in volume, but pretty high float. Did pop up on the scanner. Let's go to the next one. The next play, UDM. Let's see something. I think I want to go UDMY. UDMY was another one. The volume was about 1.2 million. I like the pattern. Just looking at it, it bounced and took off. Now, same with the daily. So you had your A. Looks like this would have been B. Let's look at the 30 minute because I think it look a little bit clearer on there. Maybe the hour. Yeah. So this was A, this was B, C was right about right there, 1360s. So let's draw a line there. Let's see something here. I'm gonna make that line green. Let's see how it lines up on the 5 in 1 minute. See right there. So this would have been your A, B, pull, and they push it up. So this would have been C. Your risk would have been 13.50, 48. So about 12-cent risk. Went to 14. So 14.45, almost a buck. Nice move. Really nice move on low volume. But same pattern. Same pattern structure. Just have to wait for it. So let's go back to the daily, pull another one. TUP, former player, same structure and pattern in the stock. TUP had some pretty good areas of resistance and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and put those areas down. So this definitely would have been an area right there at 950, just because that's where it looks as though we had the most amount of volume coming off of that area. Same with here. There was a big rejection there at 1217. We'll call it 1215. So this played as a key area as well. 1060s. Now, why did 1060 play a good area? Simply because you had the rejection and then the push. So those are your key areas looking at the stock. Let's see, this probably would have been a key area too. 850. So let's go into the stock. You can actually see this, you know, broke out from the 850, went up, rejected from there, used it as support, bounce, rejected, came back under, and then it actually flushed down, hit support again at 850, and then bounce and return. So this would have been your A. That was probably B, somewhere right here. And let me take a look at the 30 minute. Yep, that was it right there. So going back to the 15, remember it was this area right there. So I'm gonna go right here into the 5 so you can see it. So we had our A, had our B, pop up, pull back, and then the takeoff. So let me go to the 1 minute so it can look a little bit cleaner. And that's how you gotta kind of look at this and why you need to use multiple time frames. Again, remember I said that this was A. That was A. It found B here. It popped, pulled back, and then went up again. Now, I would have probably used that as C and entered here, risking it here. Obviously, you see it rolled over, and then it finally just went forward. So this was just kind of showing you it was still stepping up. I probably would have added shares here into that break. So I would add shares here and shares there. Got full size. and then let it rip, and then continue on. And it went right back to that area, played the ABC over that, and then popped up. Probably built some more energy and synergy there to move in that direction. So TUP, good trade. Last trade I'm gonna go over on this video is GTHX. Something we probably played. Yes, this is something we played previously before. Had sideways price action for last few days. Then we had a pop and a perk this day. Had some volume stepped in. Let me take a look at what that volume was. Yeah, we had a little over 3.4 million in volume. Not a lot, but still a decent amount. You had this pop and pull. So you had this pull down. You could have played it off of here. Probably didn't have enough volume at that point, personally, just looking at the chart. You could have played it there, but most people played it right here. This was their break right there. This played, so you had this area right here. And let me just draw this out on the actual chart. So right there, this would have been A. That would have been B. We had the pop pull. Right there would have probably been your C area for the push out. And you would have saw that on the 5. Probably looked a lot more smoother. I don't know. We can take a look at it though. Yeah, see, that look a bit choppy on the 1 minute. And that move there looked choppy as well. So you probably would have had to play it off the 5 to really see it. Played it there. Probably would have got in. I don't know. Probably could have got in somewhere around here somewhere. 965s, risking the 950s, and move up to 1120. Not a bad move, especially with it not having a lot of volume. So hey guys, have any questions, concerns, leave it in the comments section, as well as click that like button and subscribe, just so you don't miss any other videos that we're posting or anything like that. But hey guys, as I tell all new traders and old, stay studying and stay focused.